talk to you about was travel. So some of us traveled a lot together. I had some friends from California, a friend from Michigan, three friends from Chicago that we all traveled together. We started with Oktoberfest. We went to Austria. So we started with Munich with Oktoberfest. And then we went to Salzburg, Austria. We went to Barcelona in Spain. We went to Amsterdam, Netherlands. We went to Brussels in Belgium. We went to London in the UK. We went to Strasbourg and Colmar within France. We also traveled a lot around Angers, like within Angers. So we went to cities like Nantes, Rennes, Tours, Bordeaux. To Bordeaux, which is famous for its wines. We rented a car, which was easy, and it was like 7 of us that took a trip to Bordeaux. We also went to Le Mans, La Roche-sur-Yon. We went to Normandy beaches where forces from Canada, United States, and other countries landed in the World War. And multiple times we went to Paris. So I really want to talk about how to travel cheap around Europe. So the best way to travel is obviously cheap airlines. Cheap airlines fly from big cities, and but this big cities, but the airports are located a little bit further outside the city. So the flights that we took for like Spain and other Germany and Austria. We went through airport called Orly Airport. So this Orly Airport is one of the main airports of Paris, other than the Charles de Gaulle. So since Charles de Gaulle is for international flights outside Europe, Orly is mostly for international travel but within Europe. So we use Orly a lot. To get to Orly from Angers, you can always take a bus or take a train, which I'll explain later. And then when you get to Paris, there are multiple ways. Either by metro, or they have their own bus service that takes you right to the Orly. So it's not that expensive, but it adds another 12 to 20 euros of cost on top of the cheap airlines. The timings are limited, so you have to plan well in advance. Another way to travel between other cities is always Paris is the cheapest way to travel, but there's Nantes. The city of Nantes that is close to Angers is an option that you must consider when you're doing your flight searches. So to get to Nantes, you again take your SNCF train, which is the train service like Amtrak. SNCF trains are really cheap. I would strongly recommend that when you get here, you get a carte de jeune, which is a young card, and you get deals from 10% to 40% to 50% off on all train tickets. It costs you 50 euros in the beginning, but you recover that amount within 2 trips. We bought it when we got here, and we've been traveling. I have a collection of tickets this thick. We took trains to Paris for every trip, for every international trip. We used to go to Nantes. I just came back from Rennes yesterday. So we've been traveling a lot with those SNCF trains. You go on their website and you book it. You can, if you have a ticket that you wanna, if for example you're planning a trip and you are not ready to buy a ticket, you could just book it, but it should be like 10 days from now, and you could just book it, but then you have to buy it at least a week before you leave, or they get cancelled. So you can always reserve your seats too. Another cheap way to travel is bus service. They have a very good bus system. There are bus services such as Flixbus, Megabus, and Starshipper. There's a website called busbud.com, and you can use that service and look up different bus services from different cities, and it gives you an overview of price, timing. So that's an amazing website. For travel, I would recommend skyscanner.fr, which gives you really good prices. What you can always do is look up for flights and then go to the home page of that airline, and you might be able to save 4 or 5 euros on one ticket. Also, trains are a little bit expensive. I don't know why people say that trains are very cheap to travel with. They are not that cheap to travel internationally around Europe. So I would recommend bus or flights. For example, we took a bus from Paris to. First, we took a bus from Angers to Paris, then Paris to Brussels, Brussels to Amsterdam, and then we flew back. And it all costed us less than €100. So that was just amazing. So you could always plan that. Obviously, bus takes a lot of time, but they're cheap. They're not that uncomfortable. They have Wi-Fi and you can charge your phone, so it's always good. Another way to travel around or inside France is BlaBlaCar. You go to blablacar.fr and you can share rides with people that go from Angers to Paris, to Rennes, to Tours, to Bordeaux, to anywhere. As you set a common location where they can pick you up or you can meet, and then you just share a ride, and it's an easy process. So that would be one way to travel. Some people have been doing trips with some tours, so you could do tour guided trips, but I would recommend do your own research. You save up a lot by doing an extensive research. So this was about traveling.